This is the untold story of the double homicide at Oldfields Farm, where Mr. and Mrs. Smith were murdered. This is how we think it went down. We will start during tea with Anton, Henry, and Mr. Smith.
Here we see Anton, Henry, and Alexander all playing nice. But in a report, Mr. Smith was always rude to his workers, especially Anton, because he couldn't speak very good English.
During the middle of tea, Anton leaves unexpectedly.
According to our shoe impressions lab, we placed Rebecca walking into the front of the house.
When Anton excuses himself from tea, he meets an unexpected guest, Marianne. We place Anton here because of a hair sample found at Exhibit T. Even though the police report said Marianne wasn't at the scene, we found her shoe impressions at Exhibit D. They are plotting their murder together.
We think they did the murder together because they both work and live at the Smith's house, according to the report. Then Anton goes to the workshop to get a hammer. We know this because shoe impressions.
Then Anton goes into the parlor and attacks Rebecca. Henry tries to fight off Anton. We know this because Anton and Henry left fingerprints on the hammer and Rebecca's blood was found.
In the front room, Marianne throws a teacup at Mr. Smith. We assume this because Marianne left behind fingerprints on the cup.
Anton runs to the side of the east room and tries to open Mr. Smith's safe. When it doesn't work, he leaves and finds an axe outside. We can place him here because he left his blood at the scene.
He runs off to get police with cuts on his hands from the altercation with Anton. Marianne goes to the front room to fight Alexander. We know this because her blood is found at Exhibit H1. We believe she threw a teacup at Alexander because of the fingerprint found on the teacup at Exhibit W.
Anton runs to the front room and corners Mr. Smith and uses the axe to kill him. We know this because of our arterial gush at Exhibit I. We know he dies because of the blunt force trauma. Anton then takes the money chest key from Mr. Smith and then murders Mrs. Smith, and we know this because of the pool of blood at Exhibit H2. Anton then drags Mr. and Mrs. Smith into the fire and burned the evidence. They were dragged according to the wipe found next to the pool.
Marianne and Anton, after disposing of the bodies, go to the chest and take the Smith's money.
For the motive, we believe these two did what they did because of poor treatment of farmers and money they could get from the Smiths.
Everyone was present in the house after the tea party, giving both murderers who live in the house time to murder the Smiths.
Although this is just a theory, we stand by our evidence, and this is our cold case solved.